That's not a collapsed parking garage. That's not even a full parking garage. It's an empty parking garage. So I wanted to see how far up the dust went, and then I looked at some weather satellite maps, and I saw this. Hurricane Erin. It's a Category 3 hurricane that was heading towards New York City for 4 days prior to 9/11. It had been around for a lot longer than that, but it made a beeline to New York City for 4 days straight. What is really weird is that we didn't really hear much about it. How can they be 100% sure when and where that thing's going to turn around? A flight attendant who flew out of Boston that morning contacted me after he saw this on my website and said, "We never were told about that." Flight attendants weren't even told about it. Now, there was a high-pressure system coming in from the west, but on day one, they thought that was going to cause it to turn around from the text messaging from the National Hurricane Center, and it didn't turn around. On day 2, they thought it was going to turn around. It didn't. Day 3, they thought it was going to turn around. It didn't. Day 4, they thought it was going to turn around. Well, it's a good thing it did, because they're out of time, because it was right at the end of Long Island, and it was also raining on Cape Cod from the outer bands of the hurricane. And you can't evacuate however many millions of people live in Manhattan. And it wasn't zero reporting, it was well underreported. And you know that weather stations love to milk him for all they can get. They, dramatize the hurricane's coming, are you ready, are you ready? And everybody gets excited about it. This went without a mention. So that was strange in itself. And then I start wondering, okay, what do hurricanes do? And they produce a static field around them. And people talk about feeling the weather change. People with arthritis often describe feeling the weather coming because they're sensing an electrical kind of atmosphere around the storm system. So, okay, I went and looked at the weather reports for the 3 major airports surrounding Manhattan. LaGuardia, JFK, and Newark airports, and all 3 reported having thunder on 9/11.
Now, the unusual thing is that on the 12th of September, it made a right-hand turn of about 135 degrees and headed off out towards Newfoundland. And during the events of 9/11, between about 8 a.m. in the morning and 5 p.m., it held its position, the atmospheric pressure remained constant, the temperature and wind speed remained almost constant right throughout the events of 9/11. Not only that, readings from magnetometers, which are instruments which measure the strength of the Earth's magnetic field, showed unusual variations in the Earth's magnetic field, again, throughout the events of 9/11.